Some days feel like a blur. The dishes, the diapers, and doing the same thing all over again. But I believe joy can be found in the simplicity of our lives as stay-at-home mothers. Now, whether you are a stay-at-home mom or a working mom, it's important to remember that motherhood is more than just a role. It's a divine assignment and the highest calling a woman can possibly follow. We aren't just raising children, we're building legacies, shaping character, and nurturing souls. So today, I would like to bring you along with me as I prepare to pour into my family, and first starting with myself. Now, not every day, I would say most days, especially lately, I've been getting myself dolled up before I start my day. And I find that this really gives me that extra boost of encouragement throughout my day. It's kind of like putting on my uniform for work. I am a boy mom. I am also a wife. So I do like to look presentable when I have the time to do so. And my time to myself is very limited nowadays. So a quick, simple skincare routine, a little bit of hairstyling really goes a long way for me. And I ain't even gonna lie, I used to be very laid back as a mother who didn't necessarily have to rush out the house and present herself to the world. I some days would just walk around in my pajamas and carry on about my day. But I find a major difference when I do get dressed up. It's like I'm taking my role seriously, and I think it helps my children and my loved ones respect me as well. My makeup routine nowadays is very simple. A little bit of lip gloss, a little bit of blush. I like to add a pop of color to my cheeks. Some days, like I said, not every day. And a little bit of brow pencil. And I also do a little bit of mascara. Just giving out some beauty tips. And here's my son asking me to blow his nose. I know that I do have to start hurrying up because my kids are showing signs of being hungry. It is early in the morning. And yeah, we're gonna start working on some breakfast. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Desiree, and for our breakfast most days you will find us having seasonal fruit, seasonal, seeded, very simple, very hydrating. The first thing we put on our stomachs really sets the tone for our day. So I like to start our day with some fresh fruit and some tea. Most days you'll just see me preparing a simple bowl or plate of some fruit for us to snack on before we move on to our bigger meal of the day. The weather has been nice. All praises to the Most High. It's finally starting to feel like spring. Today the boys and I started out with some music. Kids, children love music. They're so naturally musically inclined. So I was very excited when I came across some drums when I was out thrifting the other day. If you follow me on Instagram, then you remember when I posted that. I'm building a little music box, a music bowl, a music basket rather, and we're just going to be adding a couple things to it. I'm smiling here and laughing because I was playing the flute and there was a bird that was like mocking me. Literally, I would play a noise and I would stop and it would sing back to me. It was the cutest thing. Small moments like this are very easy to overlook. My children have an old spirit. They really enjoy their herbal tea. So while Mars, our youngest, is blowing his bubbles, me and Susan are playing with the drums. And we're playing a little game called, I forgot what we called it, Follow the Leader. But I would make a sound and then he would mimic the sound. And then he was the one to make the sound and then I would mimic the sound. And this is just a great activity for children to get them listening skills. It's very important that children listen, and incorporating music with teaching is very helpful. I snuck away for a little love and affection because sometimes you just need that, you know, or at least I do. So now it's time to clean up and get ready to make some lunch. Today we're having some fried mushrooms, and look at how I'm making them. I'm going to season our flour. I'm using whole wheat flour. I'm seasoning our flour, slicing our mushrooms in half, rolling it around in the flour, and then I'm also creating a wet batter. So after I roll the mushrooms in the seasoned flour, I'm going to put them and roll them into the wet batter, and then I'm going to put them back into the dry batter. So it's going to be double battered for extra crispiness. And I know some of y'all do not like mushrooms. I was that person before. But when you make them like this, you batter them and then you fry them, they are so good, so crispy and crunchy on the outside, and then it's juicy on the inside. So it kind of reminds me of like a fried chicken almost. So if you haven't had it this way, I would highly suggest you try it before you just say that you don't like mushrooms. The other day, someone commented on one of my Instagram videos, and if you do follow me on Instagram or TikTok, then you'll more than likely see me posting very quick, fast-paced videos of this whole elaborate meal that obviously did not take me 60 seconds to cook. So I just realized that yes, a lot of my videos are very crunched down, and I've never really shown the realistic amount of time it takes me to cook. But just speaking on today, lunch took me about 35 minutes to make all together. So usually it's a little longer depending on what we have and what we're making. But today, we were in the kitchen for about an hour cooking, eating, and then straightening up. So while I let the battered mushrooms sit, we're going to be working on our raw kale salad. And if you know me, you know I love a good kale salad. I know some people don't really like kale either, but I'm going to show y'all how I make it and how I make it taste really, really good. Kale is so good for you as well. It's one of those dark leafy greens that are high in iron, high in folate, high in magnesium, rich in fiber. All around, it is a well-rounded, great vegetable to incorporate into your diet. So here's how I get it to taste really good. Essentially, I chop the kale up into fine pieces. Obviously, we wash off all of our vegetables prior. And then I massage the kale with olive oil, lemon juice, salt, and pepper. And this is just the basics for the bed of our salad. Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention honey. I also add a honey to it as well. But so I season it essentially with a homemade dressing. So you can make the dressing on the side and then pour it on the kale and massage it in. But some days I'll just toss it all in and massage it all together. But the massaging of the kale with your hands is what's going to break the raw kale fibers down and make it a lot easier to digest. It makes it so good because kale is already like a little rough, so eating it as is, all crunchy and rough like that, it's not always the best tasting. But when you take your hands and the warmth of the temperature of your hands and you massage it and break it down, it makes it easier to digest. And I don't know, it just be good. Like, y'all have to try making it this way and then hit me up. Here come my son. Is the food ready? Not yet, baby. Not yet, but it will be soon. And this is a good tip that I've developed during motherhood, that I've developed along my journey being a mom. Start out with something light and have the children build their appetite so that way they actually eat their lunch. Some days when I would make a big breakfast early in the morning, sometimes I found that the kids wouldn't really eat it because they haven't done enough to work up that appetite. And, sometimes that would be a waste. So that's another reason why I start with something very light and that will get the digestive system rolling and ready to eat by lunchtime. Checking in on our fried mushrooms. I fried these in olive oil and they're so crispy and just perfect. Baba is holding it down with the children while I finish up our lunch. So one thing about me, I do not like a boring salad. Give me all the works. Give me all the trinkets. But no, seriously, today we added some avocado, some tomatoes, and some apples for a little bit of sweetness. Don't knock it till you try it. The apples are a hit in the kale salad. I have some alfalfa sprouts. I love these alfalfa sprouts. I put them in my salad. I put them in my sandwiches. Sometimes I put them in my smoothie. They're very refreshing and highly nutritious. So I love to incorporate that into our meals when we have it. I've noticed that in motherhood, joy isn't always in the loudest, most extravagant moments. Sometimes it's a warm meal prepared with love, a child's giggle, or a moment of stillness while we fold our laundry or do a simple chore. Every day I look at my children and I see them growing so fast before my eyes. It really makes me want to slow time down a bit and enjoy these moments just a bit more. So if no one told you today, Mama, you're doing God's work. Your presence matters. And I encourage you to look for the small wins in each day. and to celebrate them. There's so much joy to be found in the midst of the chaos. There's so much joy and blessing in simply being present. So I hope this video has truly inspired and encouraged you today to stop and smell the dandelions. I hope you're all having an amazing weekend. Blessings.